Okay, this is a video of what I think about Jesus Christ. I think I should do it. I recorded it like a month ago, and I thought it was a pretty good job I did, because I watched it and I was like, cool. But then the video wasn't there no more, so I guess I got to do it again. Now, I'm going to do Jesus Christ, because Jesus Christ is a big guy, big important guy, so. I was not raised Christian though, even though I went to public schools and stuff, but I was raised Buddhist by parents who pretty much hate Christians, so that's kind of my background. But nevertheless, I love my Jesus. I'm always singing Jesus. I'm always out there singing Jesus songs, just like, like the faith songs you hear on the radio, like, we love our Jesus, God's so good, and Jesus too, Jesus is Lord, type of stuff. I sing that exact stuff. I don't know why, I just do. Now, and I kind of did have had a kind of connection with Jesus. I remember when I was a kid, I was like 5, and we were driving from Texas to Colorado, and we stopped at a parking lot somewhere, a restaurant, and I was looking at the dirt ground, and somebody had a pair of leather sandals on, and I imagined being one of the apostles of Jesus and feeling like peace, like I was there and stuff. And we had a hanging Jesus in the kitchen when I was a kid. He was being crucified, and I was looking up at it, and so I always knew who Jesus was and everything. But anyways, 2 minutes into the video, what I think about Jesus, the teachings of Jesus, what I think about the teachings of Jesus. Jesus Christ was like a privileged guy. He was like a rich guy, right? He was like the great-great-great-grandson of King David. Probably a really good-looking guy. Family's in the construction business. Doing good. He could have had whatever, but he just goes, you know what, screw this, screw all of this stupid Jewish law, It's kind of like, and all the empty little ceremonies and stuff, thinking that that's going to get you into heaven or something. Kind of like paying Pope money to go to heaven when you die, or, right before the French Revolution, all these silly little royal traditions that they have, they do just because they have to do them, and all these people thinking, just getting way too dogmatic, and then he goes, screw all that. All you need to do is believe in God. All you need to do is believe that all of humanity is part of one race, part of one family, with one God. And back then in that day and age, to just be rebellious against tradition like that and just say all you have to do is believe in God and then you're good. And it was pretty revolutionary. People back then were pretty backwards. They're about as backwards as people in the Middle East are. Those rural people who do mercy honor killings, throwing rocks at your daughter until she dies in a pool of blood surrounded by the whole village, because she was seen walking down the road with a kid from the wrong side of the tracks, like that kind of thing. Well, Jews were pretty much, I think, kind of like that 2,000 years ago. People stoned each other to death and stuff like this. And then he comes up and he's not afraid at all, and he just goes around saying that you don't need any of that tradition. Get rid of it. And he was very, emphatic about it too. Like when he went into the church where they were selling trinkets and stuff, and said, this is a holy place, don't sell anything here. And then ideas like, people were very tribal then too. You had loyalties to your tribe, and you would, almost like you belonged to your tribe and had to do what your tribe told you to do, so you couldn't be an individual. And like when he was doing the sermons up on the mount, and his mother and brothers finally come to watch him talk, and they go, hell, your family's here. Aren't you going to greet your family? And he goes, what do you mean? Everybody's my family. To say everybody's your family, and I'm not going to be totally loyal to, my own family is pretty crazy to them, pretty revolutionary. And so that's pretty strong, that he could go against all that tradition and just piss in, basically like, piss in its face, just be like, we don't need that at all, get rid of it. So like, who is this guy? Like, well, how could he have such a vision like that? And tell people amazing, revolutionary ideas like turn the other cheek. Strength isn't how good of a job you can do in kicking other people's ass, but how good of a job you can do in showing the way of peace and recognizing that if somebody violates you, comes and steals all of your goats in your land, that you just let them have it because you know that in the end they suffer from doing that more than you suffer from them taking it from you, and you can be a good example by sacrificing for them. Pretty crazily revolutionary for 2,000 years ago in the desert down there. So how could somebody like that exist? Well, I would think that this was a guy who was just an older soul than all the rest of us, and he was reincarnated on this earth because the earth was ready to have an example like that given to them, because they'd already had thousands of years of living tribally like that, and they're ready to get going with a national religion, monotheistic religion, to bring everybody together. Rome was strong, so Rome could use that to spread that. So, some people say Jesus was an alien, and I would say, sure, Jesus was an alien in that he already lived many lives and lived in advanced civilizations where people understand these concepts already in other planets. In that sense, he's an alien, yeah, because he reincarnated. He's lived other lives on other planets like this. As far as was he born of a virgin, I don't know. Did those 3 wise men come? Sure, why not? Did he resurrect 3 days later? Sure, I mean, if those people said so, I'm not one to tell them that they're liars. I guess it's possible. This is an enlightened guy. Maybe so enlightened he figured out how to appear to them again. I've seen miracles like this, kind of like that in my own life, so I might try to spirit my chicken or so. Now, what are some other concepts about Jesus? The second coming of Jesus Christ. Will Jesus Christ come a second time? I don't think it's necessary because, this guy lived 2,000 years ago, started a religion, helped bring the world together, even though it was taken control of by people who like to take control of people, but, whatever. Can't blame that on the religion itself. But do we need him to come back, the same guy to come back? We don't need that, so I don't think it'll happen. By the time aliens return again, I think we'll be beyond that whole part about wanting a second coming of Jesus, But maybe we will, and maybe the same reincarnation of that person will be able to do it, and we'll go, okay, sure, let's do it, just because they want us to, or whatever. Step out of a flying saucer dressed in robe and leather sandals and long hair and a long beard. I have returned. Those teachings are very inspiring. Very inspiring to know that somebody could live back then a long time ago in that world and then just couldn't have the fortitude and the courage and the power and wisdom to just stand up and go, hey, all you need is faith. So that's what I think about El Jesus Cristo, El Josua. Okay.